And action.
Cool.
Welcome back to the Zero Lives podcast. Welcome to our Game of the Year episode for this year. Woo! Woohoo! So last year, if you listened to our Game of the Year episode, that was a lot of fun to do, except we had it come out, I think, right after the Game of the Year awards.
Yeah, it was like a week after maybe.
Yeah, which we didn't plan on that, but it was kind of like ended up us being like, yeah, we agree with a lot of the stuff or we disagree with a lot of the stuff. So we wanted to get a jump on it this year, have it come out before then so that everybody can watch the actual Game Awards and be surprised and kind of excited for that.
There's
while
nothing
we
to cloud our judgment.
Yeah, we're not going to have our judgment clouded.
No bias.
Yeah.
I'm biased.
Yeah, Dewey is. Dewey is definitely biased.
Yeah. But these are kind of our takes on the best games of the year in different categories. We have our own categories that we're kind of going to do. We're not going to do all of the Game of the Year, the award show categories, because that's a lot. So we have best sound design, art direction, best indie game, most played game, best narrative, biggest disappointment, the game we didn't expect to like as much as we did, our most anticipated game, an honorable mention, and the Game of the Year.
I was gonna say that's a good title that you came up with. I like that.
Yeah, I just read it the wrong thing.
No, you're good.
You're gonna have to remind me, whatever.
Yeah.
We have it labeled as something different. But so I think we can get right into it. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So we picked our own games. They are not necessarily, if we do share a category with the official Game of the Year awards, we picked our own games, not necessarily just something from their nominated list, although their nominated lists are very well picked. Of course, it's the Game of the Year awards. But, so we'll kick this off with best sound design. So what do you guys think? Maybe what do you think will actually win best sound design?
Do you have all the nominees? Because I'm not sure of all of them.
Nope.
No.
All right. So
Helpful.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. Well, never mind that then. What do you guys think should win best sound design for the Zero Lives Game of the Year awards?
I like the acronym. I personally, I picked God of War to win sound design because I feel like it's just, that world is so good, like with the music, with all the different sound effects for everything, all the voice acting, everything all together is fantastic. But I think personally I like Elden Ring's music better. Like I could listen to that soundtrack and be like, this is really awesome. But God of War overall, like the total package.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Brandon?
I also chose God of War.
Cool.
I think the music is, Elden Ring was all right, but I love the God of War soundtrack, and the voice acting was just
So good.
out of this world.
Yeah, top notch for sure. And a weird twist, I chose Cult of the Lamb.
Interesting.
Yeah, the forest, the Darkwood, gets stuck in my head all the time. The song for that, I think it's really cool. And I like just the whole sound design in the whole game. Every sound effect sounded like it fit. The characters are all very cute. The music, I think, is very fitting for each of the maps, I guess, that you go to.
I like all their chants too, and different things that the characters do. That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah. They did a really cool thing of making it sound really happy and at the same time very cult-ish.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. All right, sweet. So we have 2 for God of War Ragnarok and 1 for Cult of the Lamb for best sound design. Moving on to the best art direction. Brandon, do you want to start this one?
Sure. I chose Call of the Lamb.
Very cool.
Because I just really love that art style. And I don't know, the art direction they took is just really cool. That's what originally got me psyched for that game, because it's just such a cool style. And, it's just cool to mix cute little animals with some dark, edgy themes.
That's definitely
pretty great.
Yeah, sweet. I picked Horizon Forbidden West because I feel like that is probably the most realistic graphical, I don't know, example I've ever seen, I think.
The character like depictions of in that game and like just all the machines and stuff, like the way they made everything look was really cool. And environments are really good.
Yeah, I think from like a technical standpoint, it's like the best looking game I've ever played.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the world is really bright and colorful, and the different environments feel different, which is, you know, really tough to make all these different color palettes work in a seamless open world. You know, going from one area to the next, there's like this nice gradual change in environment. It's not just all of a sudden like snowy region cuts off to like a desert region kind of thing. Yeah. They did everything really well, and also it made a lot of people realize for the first time that women have slight facial hair.
What?
Yeah.
That was a big, I don't know, weird moment that we had on Twitter for a little bit with that.
So funny.
Yeah.
One of the pre-release photos of Aloy came out, and it was so detailed. There was like peach fuzz on her face, and a lot of people were like, "Why does she have a beard?" It's so stupid. So, yeah, that's pretty cool that the graphics can out people as never having seen a woman before. So, I would go with Horizon Forbidden West.
I also chose Cult of the Lamb. Like Brandon, just the design of all the characters and like the satanic vibes and like just the way they did all the sprites and stuff, and just the overall feel of the game is like a certain, like there's a lot of the darker tones and like, I don't know, the look of it's really good, and they did a great job with it. But Horizon definitely technically is just rock solid.
Yeah, I will say I love the art direction Cult of the Lamb as well. Like Brandon said, it's the thing that drove me to be so excited for it in the first place. And they really pulled it off with that art direction. So good on Cult of the Lamb. So for art direction, we have 2 Cult of the Lambs and 1 Horizon Forbidden West. Moving on over to Best Indie. I guess I'll start with this one.
Yeah, go for it.
That's cool with you guys. I chose Vault of the Void, which
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a Steam game. It is similar to Slay the Spire. I can just hear it going. It's similar to Slay the Spire, Monster Train, those types of games where it's a deck builder, except in this case, you kind of get to plan out your route through a floor. Like with Slay the Spire, you have to choose one path, and then sometimes the paths connect and you can kind of jump over to another path. With Vault of the Void, you get to, before you even pick one, kind of plan out where you're going to go, and you can alter that as you go.
Oh, that's really cool.
Which is really nice. And it's kind of a more forgiving version of Slay the Spire, but at the same time, it offers some really cool challenges as well. Okay. So I had a lot of fun playing that, and I didn't really even have it on my radar until I saw it in the Steam store, and it was a pleasant surprise. So I'm going with Vault of the Void for the best indie game.
Very cool.
What do you got, Brandon?
I had Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, we got a lot of Cult of the Lamb stuff for this. But that makes sense for an indie. Yeah.
Even with, kind of a rough launch, a couple bugs here and there.
There was a few for sure.
I still enjoyed it a whole lot. I had so much fun playing it, and I can't think of an indie game I had more fun playing this year.
Not Stray?
No, I enjoyed Stray, but it's not my game of the year.
Yeah, so you like lamb games better than cat games.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Especially if they worship the devil.
Right. That's just the added bonus, yeah.
I actually sided with Brandon on this as well and went with Cult of the Lamb. It's just, I had so much fun doing it, and like all of us played it, like when it came out, we just like played it constantly for like a week straight. Everybody was just really into it. It's really fun. It was a cool balancing between your worshiper, like all your worshipers, and like doing the dungeons. It was a great indie game.
Yeah, definitely.
And they pretty much patched every bug that there was issues in the first week of launch. They fixed all that pretty quickly, and they've been adding content to it and stuff. So good for them for keeping it going.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. A lot of the issues that we had with it is because we played it so quickly.
It was like right away, yeah.
We played it on launch and then beat it before the first patch even came out.
Yeah.
So if we had just been a little more patient, I think a lot of our concerns with it would have been alleviated by that patch. But that is good news to anybody who may have not played it yet. We highly recommend Cult of the Lamb. Obviously, it's one at least one of us for each category so far.
It was only, I think, $20 on launch too, so I'm assuming it's probably still around that point.
Yeah, definitely. If you ever see it on sale, I highly recommend that. But full price, I totally recommend that as well.
Yeah.
But Black Friday deals are coming soon. As of recording this, by the time this comes out, we will have passed Black Friday, but a lot of the time the game sales kind of persist through the holiday season.
Yeah.
So if you see Cult of the Lamb, we definitely recommend it. On to the next, we have our most played game. So this will be probably unique to the three of us, and this is not an official Game of the Year award category. This is just kind of a unique one for the Zero Lives podcast. So, Dewey, do you want to start with most played?
I played Elden Ring probably the most this last year.
Shit.
What?
Over Call of Duty?
I think so. Well, I played Call of Duty a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look at the actual time. But Elden Ring I did, it was like over 100 hours. I don't know how much Call of Duty I have yet, but
at this point, it's probably getting up there.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, you and I will definitely have Call of Duty.
Yeah, definitely. But Elden Ring. But I enjoyed playing that so much. I played that a ton. I went for everything. I was like, scouring the map, looking for every single collectible, trying to get, everything in the game. So definitely enjoyed playing that one a ton.
Yeah, I agree with Dewey. That would be mine as well. Elden Ring for sure. It's just a huge game. There's so much in there.
Yeah.
There's so much replayability to it. Even when you beat it, just something about it makes you want to just start that new game plus and just go again. There's by far more bosses than in any of the Soulsborne games prior, and that open world really helps it and really brings everything together. And I think I had a lot of fun exploring that whole world, and we were talking about it just before this that Brandon and I didn't even fully beat the game yet.
I did.
We didn't actually fight that final boss. For me, it was a little bit intimidation and a little bit I didn't want it to end. I didn't know if I wanted to stop exploring while I had it all available to me yet. But that is just a sign of a good game in my book. Brandon.
Elden Ring.
All right, cool.
I didn't even finish it, and I have more hours in that than anything else I played this year. So that, goes to say how big the game is. And it was a very, punishing but enjoyable experience. And
yes.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it, regardless.
It's one of those ones that is punishing, but it feels fair at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Moving on to the next category, we have Best Narrative.
Okay. What do you got, Anthony?
I have God of War Ragnarok. It is...
I also have got
I feel like we're all pretty...
I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
It's just so well written.
I mean, there's no way there's anything came out this year that had a better story.
No way.
It's not.
Which is funny because Tiny Tina's Wonderlands came out, and that is literally all about like a fantasy story.
Yeah.
That's kind of what D&D
was bad.
Yeah,
the story was bad.
Yeah, I didn't really
I
love
enjoyed
it.
the game. I had fun playing it, but the story was not good.
Yeah, I agree. But Ragnarok is just, it's so well written. From the actual storylines are being well written, or have been well written, all the way to the dialogue. That was the...
I gotta wonder, Best Narrative is one of the Game Award ones, right?
I think so, yeah.
I'm wondering, are they counting the Last of Us remake?
Yeah, it came out this year.
It did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because if that counts,
it's not fair.
I wouldn't give it to a game that already came out. Though.
Yeah, that's not fair.
I agree, because it's not like they wrote a new story for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think Last of Us, if you were going to put Last of Us versus God of War Ragnarok, like Last of Us might take it. But
I don't even think I say...
For me, I don't think so.
I agree, though. I think
love,
a lot of people would agree.
Like the mythology and like the lore of it all, but I think Last of Us kind of tops it on like...
Okay. I'm sure
as a narrative, like the characters and like the emotion, and
I don't think you're alone in that thought either. But
I love God of War Ragnarok, but
yeah,
I don't think Last of Us remake should win Best Narrative because it's not like they wrote a new story. It's just they just remade
Right.
Yeah,
like,
it's already
it for a newer console.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
I
at
don't
the
know.
same time, The Witcher 3 won like 2 or 3 years in a row. You know, like they came out with more content and then that won a game of the year. Like that's
yeah.
kind
Well,
of
if
wild.
it is
so.
up for it, then it's going to be interesting to see
Close-
what they pick
close
because
battle.
it's a close race right there.
For sure. But as far as we're concerned, we're going with God of War Ragnarok.
Absolutely.
Across the board.
Because- Wow. So
Yeah.
next up, we have the biggest disappointment of the year. Brandon, you want to start?
No, you start.
Okay.
Yeah. You start.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Let me just say, I couldn't think what to put for this, and then we were talking before this, and I had an idea, but I didn't write it down, and I already forgot what that idea was.
Amazing. All right.
Disappointed him so much that he just forgot about the
Yeah.
game and
Yeah.
started.
That's fair. So my biggest disappointment was Neon White. I was really excited for it. I'm a big fan of anime. I like the animation style and the graphical or the art direction in that game. It was a cool idea to me that it would be like a platformer, first-person shooter, one of those really, really fast-paced ones, but also like a card game and like not quite a deck-building game, but you have like cards that let you have abilities and you can use those abilities while you're playing. It was really cool, and I played it a little bit, and I didn't like it. I didn't think the thought with a card game mechanic and how fast paced the actual game was worked together. I am not in the majority in saying that. A lot of people love this game.
I've heard so many good things.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you guys wanted to play it at some point, if you see it on sale or something, what you guys think.
Is it? What's on Switch?
It's on PlayStation, I think.
it's on
I
everything.
didn't think it was.
I played it on Steam.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but
I remembered what my choice was.
okay, well, go ahead.
What's your choice?
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
All right.
Okay.
Might
Why-
get some hate for it, but
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know. I going into it, I got actually pretty excited, and having been like bored of Pokemon like games, I was like, okay, this seems like something different. I'm gonna have fun, and never even finished it. Got bored of it.
Yeah.
Whole world felt empty to me. I just don't think they did enough, added enough new to make it worth it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that. I think that's why I'm also not getting the new Pokemon games on top of, a billion bugs that they're having. And I mean, I haven't played it, but like, I think I would put that as biggest disappointment too.
Oh, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah.
I
Even
have-
not playing it, but also maybe not because I wasn't really excited for it because
Expecting it to be great.
true.
I've heard a lot of people really enjoying it though. Like even though it's really buggy and the frame rate's horrible, like a lot of people are like, "This is really fun though." Like the game's really
we'll
good.
see.
From what I've played of it, it is very fun. It's very good. I like what they're doing with it. They kind of mix the Diamond and Pearl remakes with Arceus, and you kind of have that whole open world available to you. Auto battling is nice. Like I said, I'm not very far in. We haven't officially done an episode on it, so it's kind of as we go. I haven't encountered too many bugs, but within an hour of playing, any bugs are too many bugs.
Yeah.
So still not cool. Like that shouldn't be. It should be up to a higher standard. But, regardless. I totally get what you're saying about Pokemon Legends Arceus, though. That I like what they did with it, but I think it needed a little more. Do it?
I didn't really have one, but if like thinking about it, I would say probably Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, only because I love that series so much, and I wanted like that to be really good. And I feel like they didn't go as much into the character being super different and their abilities being like super crazy as I like envisioned. And it was a good game. It was totally fine, but I just I wanted it to be more crazy, and I didn't feel like it was that much different than another just regular Borderlands game for me.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
agree.
Tiny Tina's actually is one of my biggest disappointments too, because I played quite a bit of that. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it went for everything. Got down to like one trophy, and the trophy was just bugged because I did it with like a party and not by myself, and I just still could never get it. So I put a lot of hours into getting that platinum and just never could get it because of one trophy.
He got. I remember his quest being like 47 out of 48 or whatever it was, and just like it's just not going. I got no more.
Because I was in a party at the time. It was something stupid, which is absolutely ridiculous considering the game is meant to be played with friends.
Yeah.
Trophies should be shared with that game. I don't understand.
So that is a disappointment.
Yes, I was actually going to put that as mine, and then I remembered Neon White. So. Yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's not a bad game.
I had fun playing it until
it's really not
the
that
end
bad.
when I got really mad because of that.
Yeah. But I think we're all a big fan of the Borderlands series, and it didn't quite live
more.
up to the Borderlands series.
I wouldn't call myself a big fan of the Borderlands series.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. I really like it.
I'm not a big fan. I'm a fan. I'm kind of in the middle. So
I played the first and second one quite a lot, so I'd say I'm in that category.
Yeah, cool.
What do we got next?
Next up is the game that we didn't expect to like, but we actually really liked.
Okay.
Mine is The Quarry. I expected to hate that. Playing Until Dawn. Anybody who's listened to our Until Dawn episode knows I was not a fan of Until Dawn at all. But I think The Quarry made a lot of steps in the right direction, and it really kind of pulled me into that story. The co-op helped a ton. I had a really good time playing the co-op, and I think just the overall story was just better. And gameplay wise, it was definitely better than Until Dawn. It's a good evolution for the series.
I expected to like The Quarry, and I loved it.
Cool.
Yeah, it
cool.
was a really good game.
Dewey, what was your?
Mine is a game that I didn't know about until it came out, and it was on Steam, I think last year or the year before, but it got its PlayStation release this year in January. Deep Rock Galactic. Absolutely love that game. It was a free game for January, and I played it a little bit just to try it. Probably maybe we'll do an episode, see how it is. And I love that game, and I spent probably over 100 hours playing that this year.
Easy. Yeah.
That was super, super fun. I love Deep Rock Galactic, and it's a small indie game. I think the team is not super big. It's Ghost Ship Games, I think, did it. Just super fun, grindy game. Just kind of get on and mindless grinding. Love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there was a big period of time this year where there weren't any big games releasing. Yeah. And every day you were on.
I would just go, that was my in-between, I don't have anything to do, so I'll just grind out these levels on this game. And me and my brother would just play it a ton.
Yeah. Brandon?
I think I would go with Evil Dead the game.
Cool.
Because, going into that, I did not expect it to be good.
Yeah.
Just because usually games based on movies suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually had a lot of fun playing that for a while with everyone, getting on, playing.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun to play with Chris. I love it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, super fun game.
Definitely. It's interesting that you say that games based on movies usually aren't very good. And you can say the reverse too. Movies based on games aren't really very good.
Yeah.
I think
typically.
I don't know if it's like you as the viewer or player trying to expect something out of it and not being able to go in a fresh slate, but it always just doesn't feel right. Feels they did something wrong, or there's gamer movie wise, but Evil Dead did not feel that way. It was very good.
Yeah, no. I think it felt different enough from the movie franchise where it did its own type of thing while incorporating the universe of Evil Dead really well.
A ton of Easter eggs if you're into the Evil Dead, but you didn't need to watch every movie to be what the heck's going on? You could just jump in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So maybe that's just something that should be known, that the gaming industry and the movie industry don't really mix for whatever reason, which seems strange. Uncharted seems like that should have been the movie. Easy movie, but it didn't really gain the traction that they wanted.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us
coming out pretty soon.
High hopes for.
The Last of Us being a series, I think, might help.
HBO usually kills it on series, and the casting seems pretty good so far. So
yeah,
I think that'll be good.
That's pretty soon, right?
January, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
I think so.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, sweet. What do we have next, Dewey?
Most anticipated. That's the only thing I had next, and then Game of the Year. Unless we're missing something.
I think that's it.
Damn, we're flying through it.
We are going.
Yeah, most anticipated. What are you guys excited for in 2023?
Go ahead.
What do you got, Anthony?
I have, and this has been on my most anticipated list for like the last 5 years. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh, what?
Dude, no way. Holy shit, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. So I had to put that on there in addition to Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm very excited for that.
No, he's not.
Nope.
Yep, and that's fair. And also the Dead Space remake. I never played Dead Space the first time around. Very excited to play that.
I would say for me, it's especially helps because it's so close. Like Dead Space remake coming out very soon. I love that game. I don't know. That series is fantastic. So I'm very excited to replay that. Also, we got like a Resident Evil 4 remake. It's kind of weird to be like excited for remakes, but like it's games I haven't played in a super long time that I'm like excited to visit. And
they're both games that I never played.
Okay.
Actually, I never played Resident Evil 4 in the first place.
I like the resurgence of like the horror style games. Like I don't for some reason this year we just got a ton of that sort of game. I'm real into it, so I'm stoked on those.
That's great.
If we ever get Sons of the Forest, that'd be cool, but it's looking grim for that.
Yeah. I think that was your most anticipated last year, right, Brandon?
Yep. It never came out.
We're still anticipating over here. We're still waiting.
So I did not pick Silk Song because I just
can't hold your breath anymore.
It's just like the moment is past, man. Like I'm gonna play the shit out of it when it comes out, but like I just stopped even like holding my breath. I'm just
I get it.
When it comes out, I'm gonna love it, but I'm not gonna like sit on Twitter like, oh, where's Silk Song? But yeah, that would definitely be one of them. Sons of the Forest, obviously.
Yep.
Hellblade, Senua's Saga coming.
Yo, I forgot about that.
Hellblade was, in my top 10, one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
When is that slated to come out? Is there a date?
I'm not sure, but it's also not coming to PlayStation, which is a bummer. So I got to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna play it.
Yep.
But I think I chose for my most anticipated, just because like I feel like it's like coming and like I don't have to worry about it. Like, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Dude,
cool. Because Resident Evil 4 was one of the best games ever made, and like the Resident Evil 2 remake was, I think, one of the best remakes that they've done they've been doing a lot of remakes, but that Resident Evil 2 remake was so good.
The series, like the Resident Evil series, has been doing the remakes like fantastically.
Yeah, so good.
Every fan is like, these are good. Like they're true to itself and still like updated, so
like,
it's fun.
Yeah, it just makes it like modern and feel good, because like we all know like the old Resident Evil games were kind of
did not feel good.
Shit.
Yeah,
Resident Evil 4 wasn't terrible. Like it was updated, but there was some things they could definitely fix.
Yeah,
like,
which they probably
you don't have to stop and shoot. I assume they'll fix stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
that's what made me never actually play that. I just played it too late, and I was like, why do I have to stop to shoot?
I get that.
It's such a fucking good game though, and the remake looks so good, so I can't wait to play that.
Yeah. Excellent. The penultimate category, we have an honorable mention category. So this is kind of at least in my eyes, a runner-up to Game of the Year. Basically, what I would have given Game of the Year to all year until last week, basically. So for my honorable mention, I have Elden Ring, and that should probably come as no surprise. It's looking like in the Game of the Year awards, it's going to be a battle between God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring.
It is pretty much one of the two. And Stray's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be mine also. Elden Ring would be my runner-up, but I also want to give an honorable mention to Horizon Forbidden West, because I love the shit out of the Horizon games, but it didn't stand a chance this year.
I know. I was gonna say the same thing for Horizon as well. Like I think God of War is probably my number 2, because I'm like the inverse to these guys. But Horizon it's such a good game. It was so fun, and just like the unfortunate timing of it coming out the week before Elden Ring, just like they did with their first game coming out right before Breath of the Wild. Just bad choices. I don't know if it's like unlucky. Like I don't know.
Yeah, bad luck. Bad.
The game's fantastic.
They're great games.
Yeah, definitely.
But I would say definitely not.
Cool. I also, real quick, I kind of forget about it, but Cuphead, the delicious last course.
Yeah.
That was a great DLC. You know, it's not a full game, but it was very good.
Cuphead was great.
Yeah. Arcade-ageddon, I really had fun with.
That was a really cool game.
Yeah, I came out of nowhere.
Surprised you didn't pick Cuphead for best art direction.
It's not big enough for me to do that.
Because that's the DLC?
only. Yes, just because it's DLC. Because it's certainly as impressive as the full game, but I felt like Horizon there's more to it. I think it's a better choice. And I'm just gonna throw this out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll with it.
Yeah. Hot Wheels.
Yeah, that was okay. That came out 2 years ago, though. I did not come out this year. Yeah.
Didn't know that. All right. I'm just gonna skip
Great game,
that.
though.
Game
That
was
was
absolute
good.
trash anyway.
No, you suck at it, man.
No, it was not fun.
You're wrong.
Well, before we are totally cut off.
Yeah,
of light,
they're turning off the lights as we speak, so we gotta hurry up.
Game of the year for me is God of War Ragnarok. If you want to know why, we just did an hour-long episode
That is true.
last week. Give that a listen. God of War takes it for me.
I'm with you on that. God of War Ragnarok, man. Best story of the year. I cried, I laughed. It's beautiful. The world is amazing.
Yeah.
Kratos is just an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Can't say enough good things about it. You got to play that game.
Yep. Definitely.
That game is just superb. It's absolutely fantastic. But I am picking Elden Ring for Game of the Year. I think that there's just so much to it, and it's a super good game, and just the variability of like changing your classes, doing different things. It's a huge open world that you can do what you want to in, and I just feel like it had like a bigger moment for gaming as a whole too, and that's like notable. It's worth mentioning of like how many people were into that for like a super long time too.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
They're both insanely good games.
Definitely. And I just want to give another shout out to Dan for doing that episode with us. That was a really good time.
Fun.
Yeah. So if anybody still hasn't played God of War Ragnarok or the 2018 God of War, make sure you do that. Also, give Elden Ring a shot. It does have that higher learning curve to it, but it's still a wonderful game despite all of that. And be sure to check out any of the other games that we mentioned because they are the best of 2022.
Yeah, and
in our eyes, at least.
We probably did an episode on every one we mentioned or most of them.
Yeah, I think so. Not Vault of the Void, but that was on close. Steam. And yeah. No, that's pretty cool. So be sure to tune into the actual Game of the Year awards to see how that all shakes out, see how close our thoughts kind of go along with the rest of the gaming community.
Because Stray's going to be Game of the Year.
Could be.
Can you imagine if Stray gets
It Takes Two took it last year.
I kind of want Stray to win, actually. Just the underdog.
It'd be so funny.
I'm all for like a small indie like studio winning and all, but
if it's deserved.
It is not a better game than
No, it's not.
Elden Ring. Like, you cannot say that.
Oh. It's just
It's not.
It's just not. But
you're a cat.
I mean, it's awesome. It's a cool world. It's really cool, but it is not a better game.
Don't even say it was that cool of a world.
It's actually not. The whole draw is that you are a cat.
They did a good job. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they did a good job for sure.
Well, Stray 2, but you're a dog.
Stray 2, dog.
Stray dog.
Dog edition. Woof.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that in 2024. Stray 2, woof.
Ball.
How come like when you paused Stray, it didn't say pause and have like little paw prints? Should have done that.
Dude, they fumbled that hard. Oh man. You believe that?
We gotta work for that company.
Yeah.
Blue Point.
So just get in there first day, be like, pause menu.
Pause.
You spelled it wrong. They're like, what do you mean? We're like, pause. So yeah. Otherwise, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
The lights are literally turning off. And I think that's our cue to say goodnight, gamers.
Bye.